All right, what's up everybody? So we are at Crunch today. We're gonna be taking you guys through my, what are we doing today? Back and shoulders. I almost forgot, sorry. I did a cold plunge this morning, my brain's still warming up. But we got back and shoulders today. So basically for back and shoulders, I pretty much alternate back movement, shoulder movement. I'll do 4 back movements, 3 shoulder movements. The back movements will be 2 vertical pulls, 2 horizontal pulls, and then shoulders will be an overhead press, and then 2 forms of lateral raise. So we're just warming up right now. Once again, make sure we get those shoulders nice and warm. Get everything moving, make sure we're flowing right. I love doing band pull aparts, so I'll do a couple sets of band pull aparts like this, a couple sets of over and back. And then for shoulders as well, when I do any sort of upper body movement, I just like arm circles forward, arm circles backwards, just move around, loosen up. And then for me specifically, I need to heat up and warm up because I did my cold plunge about an hour ago, so I'm trying to get that heat moving. It's Easter Sunday, so we gotta kind of be a little bit quick and efficient today. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna finish our warm up, then we'll get into the workout. All right, so I figured I'd just go ahead and run through the full workout with you guys, and then we'll kind of go into everything and do a little bit of just like basically mic'd up tips, that kind of thing. But to start, we're gonna be doing, let's see, what's today? So we've got the lat pull down. So we've got this guy right here. I like to go with basically like a slightly outside shoulder width grip. Honestly, whatever's most comfortable for you, whenever you feel like you have a good muscle connection. I've tried going wider, it just doesn't feel right, and anything shorter for me is a little bit too much bicep activation. So I go like pretty much right at the curve, but once again, play around with it, see what works best for you guys. We also have the machine shoulder press. So I've switched from dumbbells to machines lately, just as far as kicking the weight up and having the control. I can get a little bit more intensity on the machine shoulder press, so I'll show you guys that. We're gonna do a 1-arm dumbbell row. We're gonna do a cable pull down with a neutral grip, so another vertical pull down, but more of a neutral bias, a little bit more lats. We're gonna do a lateral dumbbell raise, an inverted row, and then a cable lateral raise as well. So one of the lateral raises is more of a shortened position with the dumbbells, the other one's more of a lengthened position. But first things first, we're gonna be doing the lat pull downs. I always do at least 2 or 3 warm-up sets here because we will be working up to a pretty heavy top set. Also, I'll go over the rep ranges as we go through each exercise. But biggest thing here, once again, nice, I would say, a little outside shoulder width grip, and have a little bit of momentum. You don't wanna be like a board, just pulling straight down, have a little bit. As long as you're not going all the way back here, turning into like a horizontal row, you should be good. We'll do 3 warm-up sets here, then get into 3 working sets. Also, one piece of equipment I highly recommend before like squat shoes, a lifting belt, or some sort of wrist wrap. These are Versa grips. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're super convenient because you just like wrap it around the bar just like that, put the bar through there. They also have some like basic, really cheap lifting straps, so you have to like wrap it yourself. But I highly recommend, these will change your back day forever, I swear to God. So highly recommend investing in those. But as far as the actual sets go, we're gonna do a top set of 8 to 10, so it's a little bit heavier today. The big thing there, once again, is as the weight starts to get heavier, you kind of like sink into the seat, make sure you get a good, nice grip, so all of your body weight is kind of on your legs, and you have a full stretch at the top. And it's always hardest at the bottom, so make sure as you fight out of the hole, try to slow things down. You're not just going like that. You want to control the weight with a little bit of body language. Boom. But yeah, I probably won't be talking during my working sets, but might as well talk you guys through kind of the warm-up sets as well. Alrighty, so we're doing our first top set. We're at 231, so that's actually an increase from last week. So my form might not be perfect, but once again, a form of progressive overload for me at this point, it might not be adding weight or reps for the next couple of weeks. It might just be using this heavier weight and trying to get better and better control of it. That's always a form of progressive overload. I think a lot of people underestimate. So we're gonna bump up the weight this week because I did 3 sets of 10 last week and really focus on form. I'm just going for probably sets of 8 to 10 once again, and then we'll dial in form as we go. All right, so I didn't love the range of motion on that as far as like the bottom half of the movement. It felt really heavy, so I think I'm actually gonna drop the weight back down. So maybe I'll do a set at the heavier weight to start, like a top set, and then kind of, I wouldn't call them back off sets because they're still working sets, but just have a little bit better control and range of motion. So we're gonna bring the weight up to 209 and then really focus on trying to get that bar down and controlling the bottom half of the movement. right, so our next exercise is the machine shoulder press. I personally love this machine. It feels really good on my joints. Obviously, biggest thing is if you don't have a machine at your gym that you absolutely love, dumbbells are a great option, but for me, I've been talking to a lot of people about this, why I don't do so much dumbbells or free weight anymore, because I like to train alone, one, so I don't have a spotter all the time, but also on machines, I can push the intensity without having a risk of injury, basically. Like with dumbbells, if I start to press and I can't get something, like my shoulder could kind of fall down, and there could be a lot of like injury things for dumbbells, free weight, so when I have a machine like this, any sort of like failure, I just kind of like bring the weight down and the machine catches it for me, so that's a huge thing. But we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 here. To the seat, I just adjust, so when I start to press, because right now, like this first little range of motion, like there's no weight on it until here. So I wanna make sure that as I start to press, there's weight throughout the entire movement. So it doesn't hit, when I hit the bottom, okay, there we go. Because basically what I don't want to happen is to get to the bottom range of motion and have the weight catch, like actually catch here and I lose tension. So this is a good height for me because it stays, yeah, there's tension and actual weight throughout the entire range of motion. That feels good, and just ever so slight, instead of being out here coming down, just bring those elbows ever so slightly, about 45 degrees, angled forward a little bit. And for me, it's a great range of motion, and yeah, ever since I started doing this, I have like no shoulder pain. I can push really, really heavy with this as well, rather than the shoulder press, where it takes a lot to like get it up to your shoulders, have a spotter, that kind of thing. The machine just a little bit easier. Also, another thing I did recently, I was kind of hitting a plateau on the dumbbell bench or dumbbell overhead press. I was plateauing right around the 85-90 for my 3 sets of 8 to 10. And ever since I came over this machine, just having that new stimulus in my body, kind of getting used to the new movement, my weight I've been using has slowly been going up. So I think I started like 150, 160, and now I'm up to 180, hopefully for 3 sets of 10. Because last week I think I did 170 for 3 sets of 10. It felt really, really easy. So we'll see, hopefully get 3 sets of 10 today. Also, we got the fresh kicks from Katie. Little birthday present right there. Don't look at the toes. Well, honestly, these are like some like the coolest shoes I've ever owned. So we're repping these, but obviously only when it's dry out, no chance of rain, and never in the mud. We're gonna keep these bad boys clean. All right, let's go, 10. I'm really curious. I'm also really curious if they can hear the music like in the mic too. That's one thing where if I was doing dumbbells, I would either need a spotter or I probably would have failed because I would have had to stabilize that press. But there I can go a little bit past that point of failure because I know as long as I press up, the machine will just like go in the right movement pattern. So I have that last extra set that I don't think, that's last extra rep, I don't think I get on the dumbbell press that I get here. So that's why I've been doing machines, obviously very specific to my training, trying to basically step on stage as a bodybuilder, as lean and as big as I can. A lot of my clients probably, I'll definitely have them do a lot of free weights because it carries over to life a lot better. And a lot of the time clients are just want to get in better shape, have a little bit more mobility throughout their life. And that's things like where squatting comes in. Like you squat throughout your entire life. Obviously I don't squat currently in my program, but I've worked up to a 4 or 5 squat before and know I can squat with good range of motion. But for a lot of clients, somebody that's just getting in the gym, free weights are a great way to kind of have that carryover strength from the gym to their everyday life, a little bit different than how a bodybuilder might train. All right, so I think at the beginning of the workout I said I do dumbbell rows, which I used to do, but I forgot actually about 2 weeks ago, I switched to this machine row because so the dumbbells go up to 120. I was doing 3 sets of 10 at 120. I probably could have got my form a little bit better, but I figured, okay, like I didn't love the movements. I feel like I was losing a little bit of momentum. So here we have a chest supported, so A, the momentum's minimized. It's a very similar movement pattern. So instead of going out here, we're still going neutral, just like the dumbbell row would be, keeping it neutral, basically elbow right by your side. Same thing here, nice stance, get a good stretch and pull back. And once again, we don't want to go so far back, but we want to make sure that the lats get their full engagement, which is just about right, elbows at your side. If you do want to get a little bit more range of motion, you can kind of squeeze and kind of crunch down to the side. You'll feel a little bit more, but I personally find a good stretch, contraction. And we'll do, once again, a warm-up set or two, then we'll get into it. Also, I do these unilaterally, so one arm at a time. Make sure I get really good stability. And I feel like I can't really cheat like I could on the dumbbell rows with the chest supported here. So I really like the stability of it, and I can just really focus on the movement itself and the lats. All right, so next we have the pull downs, the second vertical pull of the day. We've got the neutral grip, so a little bit focused on, once again, keep those elbows nice and tight, pulling a little bit more with the lats. Once again, whole back clean works, but a little bit more of a lat focus. Once again here, very, very similar as far as like the use of momentums and body language on the actual reps. This is a working set, so I'm gonna talk before I start the set. But once again, trying to minimize the momentum, but still have a little bit of kind of a lean back at the top and really focus on controlling it out of the bottom range of motion, making sure that you're moving the weight's not moving you. All right, so next we got are some dumbbell lateral raises. Pretty basic, but a few things I like to do. Once again, hinge at the hips, slightly lean forward, and think about putting the dumbbells like into corners of the room. So instead of lifting straight up, where you kind of get your traps in it, you kind of spread out. And this is a working set. So 3 sets, 12 to 15. Also, last thing, try to minimize momentum the best you can. You don't want to be like swinging in and out the whole time. We're gonna have, once again, minimize it, but a little bit is okay. So for our next exercise, we have the inverted row. So there are a couple different variations to this. The easiest one is gonna be where you have your feet really close to you. So essentially what you can do, the position of the arms is pretty always the same. Basically, we're gonna have at the top of the movement, you wanna have your wrists and elbows stacked, proper pulling motions, but the easiest way is with your feet really close to you, like right here. You have a little bit less to pull because your body weight is gonna be also dispersed into your feet. And the next hardest way, we just kick those feet out a little bit more. Be on your heels. have a little bit more to pull, and the hardest way is gonna be, before you add actually weight to your body weight, is gonna be with your feet elevated. So pretty much all the weight is gonna be being pulled up with no weight really on your feet that much. Just like that. And we'll be doing 3 sets, 12 to 15. So last exercise of the day is gonna be a cable lateral raise. So essentially what I'm doing, I'm gonna grab the left cable with your right hand, bring it over, step back. This, so they're kind of crossing behind you. You can kind of see they're crossing an X pattern. Walk out just a little bit. And the big thing here, we're focused on basically the lengthened position. So right now, obviously the delts are lengthened. With the dumbbells, it's hardest in the shortened position. The cables, it's hardest in the lengthened position. So they're pretty much a similar movement, but slightly different bias as to what position it's hardest in. We're just gonna go, once again, very similar, slight hinge at the hips, trying to spread the cables out, not just lift them up, but spread them to the corners of the room. Alrighty, so we'll do a quick posing session. I do need to go, the gym closes at noon. I need to go play golf with my dad, but just wrapped up that back and shoulder workout. Very solid, a little bit quicker than I wanted to, but hey, sometimes you gotta just get it in. Typically my rest times are 3 to 5 minutes. Today are probably closer, maybe to like just 1 to 3 minutes. But yeah, regardless, not a huge deal. Also, we've had a low weigh-in of 172 so far, but we'll do a quick couple basic poses. Obviously you can't see my legs. Screw it, let's do this. All right, do what? I need to catch my breath. That's definitely one thing to work on with posing, at least, is like the control of the breathing, the breath, the fact that I need to like be on stage smiling definitely needs a lot of work. But overall, pretty happy with how the physique's going. Once again, low of 172. The average is still probably right around 173. Calories are the exact same as before, still 2,250 at 200 grams of protein for 6 days a week now. 1 refeed day at 2,850. Weigh-ins, yeah, averaging about 173. Still seeing that about 1 pound of weight loss per week, which is exactly where I'm gonna be. Also, I have picked one show date so far, November 4th in Cincinnati. That is one show. I might do multiple, we'll kind of see, but yeah, without further ado, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. We are in a hurry today. We need to get moving. See you guys next time. Peace.